Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 3 Under Par podcast. This is a golf podcast where
Little White Ball is live.
I'm your host, Scotty T, and I'm joined by my co-host, KJ, over there, T-Bone down below. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up?
Happy Monday to everybody. Big week. It's not Masters big week yet because the Masters is next week. So for the listenership, if you're watching here on YouTube or if you're listening on podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we're pretty much everywhere. Masters preview is coming next week. Potentially a Masters parody video going to be in the works this week that will drop before the episode. So stay tuned for that. Taking shots at everybody. It's going to be great. So, but fellas, this is a big week because the Houston Open is this week. This is our hometown tournament. H-Town represent PGA Tour is back. Course is moving to Memorial. We got a lot to talk about. How excited are you all for the Houston Open this week?
I hope we can get out there. I think we're gonna at least manage to get tickets through somebody for Sunday. I got the member guest until then, so I'm hoping to get out there Sunday. But I'm excited to see the course, play top quality, ready for a PGA Tour event. Just see how bad the rough is.
It's working out great. The fact that this tournament was on such the back burner, being in November, losing a sponsor, and then we get a sponsor and we're the week before the Masters and we've got a great field. It's going to be money.
We're back. The Houston Open's back because the Houston Open for a long time, there's a lot of history behind it, which we can dive into if we want for the listenership out there. But the Houston Open was essentially dead at one point. Shell pulled out. They were like the third longest title sponsor for the Houston Open. They pulled out. We had a tournament for a year, but just didn't have a sponsor, so that was worried. But the Astros Foundation, Jim Crane, step in, revive the tournament. We got a spot on the schedule, and they moved courses to Memorial Park. So before we dive into the actual tournament itself, I think we need to touch on Memorial Park a little bit. Overall, good move or bad move to move it to Memorial Park?
Well, there's different aspects that I see. One, I love it if it's right in front of the Masters because if you've played that course, besides the rough situation, but that course, since they redid it, it plays a little firmer, and most of the greens remind me more of Masters greens and Masters setup than any course I've played in Houston. Hit it in the center of the green basically, and there's some shots that you're just like, all right, it's 10 feet right of where I wanted it, and now I'm 25 yards off the green, and I took a bad bounce or yada, yada, yada. So I think it's great in the sense that this course plays more like the Masters than Golf Club of Houston, or plays more like Augusta. But I'm curious to see what they do with the rough, because that rough out there can be absolutely brutal. It just drops straight down to the bottom of it. But you don't really see out at Augusta.
Augusta. There's
parking's going to suck. Parking is going to suck.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be all public transportation pretty much. Is your option.
So I don't know yet. I'm really excited, but kind of scared for this tournament.
We got fans.
That's part of the scary part. But the fact that the tournament's in Houston is awesome. I mean, we've been having it in the Houston Open in Humble, which has not been very close for anyone to go to. So actually having it in Houston is pretty awesome. I will say I think we all grew up playing Memorial Park. I like it a lot, but it's hard to take the Muni out of a Muni golf course. I was just playing it.
Design? Have you played it?
Yeah. I played it probably 2 or 3 months ago, and I was just like, this course is great, but I just feel some Muni vibes to it still.
I think once they get that clubhouse up and, they expand that, I think that's the Muni feel,
Yeah. It's
like
just something like
the whole setup there, they did better with the range, but the whole setup there just makes you feel like it was, built in the 70s and anybody can get on at any point. You don't even have to wear like a collared shirt. That's just the feel.
Which you don't. It's Beck's Prime inside, matte driving range with Srixon golf balls that have no dimples.
It's kind of like a tuxedo shirt, you know. It's like we want to be a little classy, but we're also ready to party at the same time, right?
Yeah, which is just not that I just don't see that hosting a PGA Tour event, which is scary. But at the same time, when I'm putting on the greens at Memorial and they're not even fast yet, and I can barely keep my ball on the green, that's when I was like, okay, this is going to be dirty.
Yeah.
But there are still a lot of aspects of it that I'm not totally sold on how it's going to go, how the players are going to like it. But overall, having it back in Houston, it's going to get better every year. We should, we're on the right path.
So for those who don't know, Memorial Park was completely redesigned. The golf course that we knew growing up, and really where I partially claim I learned how to play, it's not the same golf course anymore. There are a few holes that are still kind of the same, but overall, it's a completely different golf course. Redesigned by Tom Doak. Brooks Koepka was the PGA Tour consultant on the course. So that's pretty cool to have Tom Doak, who's probably the hottest golf course redesigner out there. And then Brooks Koepka, he's freaking Brooks Koepka. He's awesome. So those are two big names in Houston, which is great. Memorial Park, it's right in the middle of the city. You see the Galleria right there. It's 10 minutes from downtown in a massive park. It's pretty cool, easy to get to, I would say, minus the traffic because there's just a lot of traffic there. But so I think that definitely helps jolt this tournament, especially since a lot of players, they're kind of nervous. They like playing courses they're used to. And this is a completely new course to everybody. And even Tom Doak and Brooks Koepka have always said this redesign was hard because you got to make it tough for the pros, but how do you make it playable for the average amateur out there, right? Like but also it's got to be the most affordable PGA Tour course in the country. It's $38 to play, which is great. And for us, it's like 10 minutes from where we all live.
Yeah, that is really kind of amazing because, 2 weeks after, Dustin Johnson's walking down those fairways, we're going to be able to do it.
That's weird to think about.
That's going to be awesome.
Paulina's husband.
That's what we've reduced him to, is Paulina's husband.
He's always been Paulina's husband, even though I don't think they're married. It's just that's Dustin Johnson, dude, because whenever he goes to the tournament, but Paulina's there, it's kind of Paulina's show.
That's very true.
I don't know if I really agree with this.
No, I 100% agree with that.
Right. Dude, I'm telling you, like I've heard from offhanded sources that when DJ won the U.S. Open, nobody cared about DJ. Hey, what's Paulina doing right now? Like, is she going to come greet him on the green? It's her show, I'm telling you.
Yeah, and wondering what she's wearing, of course. That's always key.
Right. I don't know.
You're married, Scott. Be careful how you answer that.
Well, my wife's not the biggest fan of Paulina Gretzky. Let's put it that way. So, I don't know if she's listening or not, but
just to change the subject. Yeah.
Yes.
Just something I saw today. Anthony Kim won the Houston Open 10 years ago. This year.
Ooh, pour one out for AK.
RIP. Also, a little Houston Open history that kind of ironic. So last week, Brian Gay won the Bermuda Championship.
Oldest PGA Tour winner since Davis Love III, if I'm not mistaken. 48 years old.
Wow. Okay, this is going to make my story even better.
All right.
So, I want to say the 2008 Shell Houston Open, I was the standard bearer for Brian Gay, Davis Love III, and Paul Guidos. So this is all kind of big picture coming back into play.
T-Bone, this is meant to be. What's that, KJ?
All three of those guys are old goats now.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact, T-Bone. How many times were you a standard bearer?
Just once. But it was a rain delay. So even though I was only the standard bearer for the third round, but the third round got moved over to Sunday. So I was a standard bearer for like 16 holes, and then I had to get there at like 6 a.m. to standard bearer for 2 more holes.
Brutal.
Ouch.
But it was cool because I got to they took vans out to the course. So I was like riding in a van for multiple days with those guys and got to know them. And it was also weird because no one was going to go out at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. on a Sunday to see like guys who barely made the cut, like out on hole 17 or 16. So it was like just us and my dad was there watching because he was just there to watch me. So it's like those guys, their caddies, me and my dad. I think my brother was there too, and he was just like downing a hot dog at 8 a.m. and the caddies like respected the hell out of that. So
Didn't you go see Davis Love the Third last year for like some sort of meet and greet, and you asked him about it, and he had no clue who you were?
Yeah, this was so I guess this was about a year ago.
This must have been last year.
So I did really bad research going into that event because he was in Houston. He's sponsored by RSM, which is like an accounting firm or something. And they had a charity event, and I was like, all right, guys, I'm going to like, I'll have my phone ready to record if he can, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like this corporate event that I have no business being at. And when I get an opening, I go up and talk to Davis. I'm like, hey, Davis, can I get a picture? And he's like, yep. Get the picture, and he thinks I'm walking away, and I go, by the way, I was actually your standard bearer in 2008 here at the Houston Open. He just kind of, nice. Like, that was his response. But
how did he not remember you?
Yeah, no, crazy. But I said, like obviously that didn't land, and I followed it up with, I was like, oh, nice, you playing this week? Like, you excited to tee it up this week? Because it's the week of the Houston Open. He's in Houston. He's like, I'm actually playing the Champions Tour event this week out in, like, Atlanta or whatever. I was like, oh, my bad, bro.
Swing and a miss.
Good work.
Yeah. And and to continue on that story, so when I was a standard bearer in, like, 08 or whatever, I guess about 2 months later was the Memorial Tournament, and I got to go to the Memorial Tournament with a friend, and I started following Davis, and again, there was like no one around. He was walking from a green to a tee box, and I stopped him. I was like, hey, Davis, I was your standard bearer back at the Shell Houston Open, and pretty much the same response I got from him again. I was just like, oh, hi. So I've gotten Davis off guard a few times now, but
if you shit the bed with him more than 2 more times, I'm sure he'll start recognizing you just as the guy who shits the bed every time he talks to him, not as standard bearer.
Well, in my defense, I just pop out of nowhere. It's not really shitting the bed. It's just there's no reason he should possibly remember who I am. But I figure I roll the dice and see if he,
in these sea of faces,
somehow
Scap is trying
to shoot your shot,
out.
man. Shoot your shot.
Shoot.
Yep.
Man, who knows?
But yeah, full circle.
Well,
that's all
very
I got.
good. So, fellas, let's talk Houston Open now. Who are some of our favorites? And then we'll go to some of the picks. I mean, we were kind of touched on earlier, the field. Honestly, I got to say, this field is a lot better than what we were expecting it to be. Even like a week or two ago, Phil Mickelson comes out and says, yeah, I don't really see like an advantage of playing in the Houston Open, especially if they're having fans. Because we mentioned last week, what's like the off chance if a fan gives a PGA Tour player COVID before the Masters and they can't play? Like, that would be devastating. That would suck so bad. But then Phil Mickelson committed to play in the Houston Open, so I don't know what changed his mind, but he is a former champion, so maybe somebody was pulling strings behind the scene there. But the field's pretty good. You got Dustin Johnson, Tony Finau, Victor Hovland, Brooks Koepka, Scotty Scheffler, Jason Day. I don't know if you include Zach Johnson in that group anymore, but I mean, he's a major championship winner. Adam Scott, Lonto Griffin, he won the tournament last year. So Jordan Spieth is also playing, just worth noting, Texas guy. So
dang it, I can only go on Sunday, so I guess I won't see him.
Hey, man, he's just trying to get those reps in. So, fellas, who are some of the guys that stick out to you of who you like, and then official picks? KJ, start us off.
Two that really stand out to me, obviously DJ and Brooks Koepka, but I would not be, I'm not going to be picking either one of them this week.
Okay, so who's your official pick?
Victor Hovland.
Wow, he's currently at plus 1,600, so you like Hovland. Why?
I don't know. I just feel like he's going to be lighting it up this weekend. I don't know. I haven't heard much about him recently, but he's been out there just slamming balls. And I don't even know if he's been playing in tournaments the last couple of weeks. Did he play this week?
I haven't heard much from Hovland. No, I don't think he did. The field last week was kind of light, I would say. just because I think people are getting ready for Augusta. Also, it was in Panama, which I believe that's traveling internationally.
Panama.
T-Bone, do you know where Panama is on the globe? Or geography, man?
Yeah.
Dude.
And scene. That's
solid question.
No, it's got to be somewhere in Central America.
Oh, boy.
That's the best I can do.
It's the
Good job.
Panama Canal.
okay. So your pick is Victor Hovland. T-Bone, who you like this week?
So I want to pick Brooks, but it almost feels like almost like kind of too much pressure, almost like a hometown feel for him that he's put so much time into this at this point. We've got some guys.
He visited? I'm curious. How many times do you think
I doubt he's ever been here. Now that I think about it,
he just had to have been here at least once, right?
I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Honestly,
yeah.
Yeah, I just have a really hard time picturing Brooks Koepka walking the, laying out the blueprints, really getting into the details of the course layout. There's just no way in hell.
He's probably blissed out of his mind too when he's doing. He's like, yeah, like you can put this hill here, or
that makes sense because if you look at the second green, I mean, no one sober designed that green. So,
which green?
Two.
Oh gosh, that's a nightmare. You imagine if they put it right just short of that ridge and somebody hits it back there in the back, which is pretty easy to do because I think every time I've played it, that one is straight into the wind.
Yeah, there's some putt holes, pin placements on that course. But anyways, I never really banking on a guy who's got kind of that hometown feel to his sorts, like, Mike Weir winning the Canadian Open, stuff like that. Just doesn't really happen. It's too good of a story. So even though I want to pick him, I'm not going to.
Wait, did you say it's too good of a story? Is that – I just want to make sure I heard that crooked. It's like T-Bone saying nobody cheers for the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Like anything that's almost too good to be true. Well, okay, so what's something in golf that is too good to be true? Like I would say Tiger Woods winning Masters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, back-to-back.
Yep.
No doubt.
All right, continue.
Yep. Anyways, there's some guys coming off of COVID that I like a lot. DJ.
Coming off of COVID. Is that going to be a new thing?
Adam Scott, and Scotty. All those guys, I feel like, DJ and Scotty for sure have been playing lights out. Don't really know what Adam Scott's been up to. But sure, I'll go with Scotty Scheffler. I'll go with Scotty Scheffler. I like the
Scotty pick.
Fresh off of COVID, Texas boy. He's ready to get back into it.
Scaff, you just took my pick. You son of a bitch.
Yep.
Dang it. All right, Scotty Scheffler.
Got him. Yep.
Man, I love it. You know what's interesting is I feel like Azinger and all those guys, whenever they're making that Florida swing and then when they're playing in Texas, they always talk about Bermuda grass. It's almost like this Bermuda grass is a mystery to them, that they like a riddle they can't solve. It's like, I don't really find that big of a deal about Bermuda grass. Do y'all? Like maybe it's because we grew up playing with it, or I don't know. Is it really that big of a deal?
I don't know.
I've been playing golf a long time now, and I've been able to tell the difference on a bent grass greens. Like when I play bent grass greens, I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Other than that, I have no idea what the hell kind of grass it is. St. Augustine, I know that when I'm hitting out of backyards. But other than that, it's all the same to me.
Oh my
I agree with that. You know, when you're hitting out of St. Augustine, that's never a good sign, T-Bone.
Hey, you can prop it up a little bit. The St. Augustine, you take some monster divots.
You get the real juicy flyers out of that stuff, huh?
Oh yeah.
What was it, a Hearthstone T-Bone? Hey, mister, is this your ball?
What?
Yeah, interrupting a pool party with my rope hooked 3-iron.
I played with that guy again last Thursday for the last boys' night of the year. I played with that guy.
Man. So I got to tell you, I'm looking at the odds. DJ is the betting favorite, plus 650. So obviously, because it's DJ, right? New course. It's long on the scorecard, but I don't think it plays that long overall. I mean, there are a couple of par threes, like number 7 now is like, forget about it. It's like 240, green runs away from you. It's just an FU type hole. But like other than that, it's nothing too shocking, I would say, especially compared to what those guys are used to. So it's no surprising that he's number one. I'm kind of surprised that Tony Finau is the second betting favorite at 16-1. I don't know why. Have y'all heard from Tony Finau in a while?
No, not since he went and shot stupid low and then got the Rona.
Sure. Well, if you are betting on who's winning, you better save your money and don't pick Tony Finau because that guy doesn't win anything. Poor guy. He's
such a good dude too. I hope he wins this week. I really do.
It would be a great story, and I would love to eat my words on that. But mark it down right now. Tony Finau will not win the Houston Open. He like top 5, sure. Top 10, most likely. But
if he does, I think you got to put a little skin in the game.
Yeah, no kidding. You were so sure about that. You gotta throw something up.
Okay, I don't know what you want from me here. Like I will say I bet the house on that, but I don't know if I want to bet my house on that.
Linda might have something to say about that.
Yes, she probably would. But dude, it's the which one did he win? Like the one tournament he's won down in Mexico, the Seoul Open, or
I have no idea.
It's that one tournament.
I didn't know he actually won.
I'm gonna look this up real quick.
I know what you're talking about.
Because I'm sure the listenership right now.
This could be. I'm kind of just brainstorming here. This could be a new segment where each week one of us got to pick someone maybe in the top 20, and who absolutely isn't going to win. And if they do, you have to do X.
Puerto Rico Open.
Puerto Rico.
Whoever wins the Puerto Rico Open, there's like a curse that is about it. Nobody can win. If you win the Puerto Rico Open, like put a fork in you, you're not going to win again, at least for a while. Let's see. Martin Traynor, D.A. Points, Alex Checa, Chesson Hadley, Scott Brown, George McNeil. Like, who are these guys? Michael Bradley? George Kraft? Yeah, see, this is – and I hope I'm wrong about Tony Finau. He's like –
and that's also like an off week too, so kind of like the Bermuda.
Right. If you're looking for somebody like guaranteed prop bet, top 5, top 10, put Tony Finau in there. Good bet. But to win, save your money. I'm not going to – I don't know what you want from me here. I'll play left-handed and y'all can record the whole thing.
Maybe you could do a Phil Mickelson look next time we play, so I get you in the button down.
I'll play golf in a button down.
Maybe some aviators if you have them.
I will dress like Phil Mickelson next time we play golf.
And you got to do the stupid little dance.
Yep. I'll do a commercial that he did with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Still not as bad as wearing a fucking dress, but sure, I'll take what I can get.
Well, that's because you lost to a guy in a cast. When
a
Kyle
drunk
had
guy
a
in a cast.
angle.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, I shot like 78 or something. So
again, I always think of Garza. Shout out to Garza when he's like, "Scav's actually really good. Y'all just shit on him all the time, though." And he's, love you, Scav. So I'm also surprised that Russell Henley's 16-1. I find that shocking. So my pick was going to be Scottie Scheffler. I'm going to go with. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Part of me wants to say Siwoo Kim. Shout out to Buckley there, but I am going to go Hideki Matsuyama. I don't know why. I've absolutely no.
When was the last
why.
time you heard that name?
He won the Players.
No.
He had one good round.
Siwoo Kim won the Players.
No, Hideki won it this year.
Oh.
2020 Players.
After round one, Hideki Matsuyama was the leader before they canceled the tournament. So, therefore, he is your 2020 Players champion. I mean, there's guys I'm definitely rooting for. Like, I love to see Charlie Hoffman win this week.
Yeah. I don't know what rankings you're looking at because Tyrrell Hatton is number 2 in the power rankings this week.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
So 16-1 are Tony Finau, Tyrrell Hatton, Russell Henley, and Victor Hovland. And then Matsuyama is right behind him at 18-1. And then Brooks Koepka is 20-1, Scheffler 22-1. Jason Day 33-1. I don't see Jason Day winning this week. Sergio Garcia is playing. Emiliano Grillo could be a decent pick.
Yeah.
Do I have to stick
I
to
think-
my Hideki Matsuyama pick? I'm not
No,
necessarily.
you can move. Again, with this
Do you feel
course,
stupid right now?
A little bit, yeah.
with
I
this
think
course,
I feel as strong as him not winning than Finau not winning. Like actually
Are
stronger.
you going to commit to the Phil round?
Yeah, I will do that as well if Matsuyama wins.
You know
Okay.
who I'm going to go with? I'm going to go with Wyndham Clark. Wins the Houston Open.
He did almost win this week.
Yep, he's playing
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good golf.
What do you have, like 2-stroke lead going into 15?
He lost in a playoff to Brian Gay.
Yeah, I think he had 2-stroke lead going into 15.
So, continuing, I just have a segment about the Houston Open that just came to me if we want to transition.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking about the identity of this tournament. It's going to be in November. It's probably going to kind of be an afterthought. Do you think I don't think by any means it'll ever turn into the Waste Management, but I think the Houston Open could potentially turn into like a party-ish vibe type tournament. No one cares about it too much because it's not in like the heat of major season. You've got Washington right down the road. Washington right down the road. Everyone, being inside the loop, you're gonna have a younger crowd probably. I think it could have some party-ish vibes to it.
It has party vibes every year that I've gone.
No, just you
every year.
think that. Yeah, no, that's just you.
That's KJ bringing the party. Wait.
If any of the listeners want to have a good time out there, just try to find me out there on Sunday.
The DMs are open. DM us. That's interesting you say that, T-Bone. I would love to see the Houston Open turn into something like that because it'll be fun. Like I said, it's in the heart of the city. Not many PGA Tour tournaments are in the heart of the city. If you're a PGA Tour player, like, what do you do when you're not playing golf? Like, are you going out to nice restaurants? You think people recognize who you are out there? Like, I don't know what they do in their off time.
Yeah, they probably don't go out too much, but
no. Especially right before the Masters, I feel like everybody's going to be even more like just golf and stay away from everybody.
Don't get COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Can
you imagine if you're a first time like Masters player and you get the Rona right before and you can't play in the Masters? It'd just be like, oh my gosh, like this is a lifelong dream. Yeah.
I will say when we went to Vegas for the Shriners Hospital Open a couple years ago, we went out Saturday night we went out Friday night, and we definitely saw a bunch of the PGA Tour guys out at the casino, those who missed the cut. So I'm not going to say who. Definitely saw them. Do we know if friend of the pod, Chris Stroud, is playing this week?
I couldn't get the full filled up. All I could get was the power rankings.
Right.
That's a miss on our part, but
yeah, I would love to send good vibes to Chris Stroud his way. H-Town guy. He's the first and only PGA Tour player who has been on this podcast. So shout out to Chris Stroud. Hope you do well this week. If you're playing, yeah, we really should know if he is. Also, new title sponsor for the Houston Open. I don't know if we brought that up.
Yeah, what is it? I know it's Vivint.
Vivint.
What is it?
Vivant?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. What is it?
You know what Vivant kind of sounds like? You know. If you know, you know.
Vivint, whatever the hell it is they have a bunch of smart home technology type stuff. So
yeah, it's kind of like
security. Yeah, like it's similar to like Ring doorbells. They've got a bunch of security stuff. I think other like smart home features, thermostats, things like that.
Hey, T-Bone,
I noticed
your boy
nobody
Danny
picked up.
Danny Willet's playing. Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? He could have a back-to-back PGA Tour run right now. Win the Houston Open and then go slam it at the Masters again. Wouldn't you love to see that?
I think T-Bone would rather pound sand than
that'd be a bummer.
Do that.
Nobody picked our last year's winner, Lanto Griffin.
Talk about a throwback. Camilo Villegas teeing it up.
The old spider.
It would be good to see Camilo win, especially everything that happened earlier this year with his family. That would be a pretty good story, I think, for for Camilo to win.
The one thing that the Roan has done is, seriously, even bigger tournaments, you see some of the bigger guys not play. So you get to see a lot of these up-and-comers or these guys that we used to see every week that aren't really making it now. So it does kind of change the fields for us every week instead of having, your top 25 there pretty much every week.
That's true. Yeah, we've all said that about fall events. If somebody's going to win a fall event, or like if someone's going to try to make a name for themselves, do it in the fall. But this is it's a better field than most fall events, probably because this the week before the Masters, and we've never had a fall Masters before. So this is, I think the word unprecedented is thrown out way too often, especially right now. But this is like a really unprecedented time in golf. The first ever fall Masters. Probably the only fall Masters that's ever going to happen. So, yeah, I don't know. It's funny seeing like this is on PGAtour.com. Like it lists like former winners. Jimmy Walker's playing. He's like in the top 5 here because he won a PGA championship.
Nice.
I don't expect Jimmy Walker to do well here. He's Baylor guys.
Texas boy.
Sick him, Jimmy. So, all right. Well, I think that's all I got, at least for the Houston Open. Overall, parting thoughts. So KJ's got Hovland. T-Bone's got Scotty, and then I forgot.
Matsuyama.
No, I don't want Matsuyama.
Nope.
You switched.
I switched.
Nope.
I have no idea.
I totally forgot.
I don't think you ever finished it up. I don't know.
Oh, boy. This is embarrassing.
We were doing well.
No, Wyndham Clark.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wyndham Clark. That's who I think is going to win. Clearly, I'm very emotionally tied to picks.
You can't remember who you picked 10 minutes ago.
And
I
then
think another good
KJ
value pick is JT Poston, BT Dubs.
Yeah, so T-Bone, you didn't pick anybody who definitely isn't going to win. He's got Finau. I got Matsuyama. And it's got to be like a name. It can't be some rando.
Yeah, we'll go with let's see.
Phil Mickelson.
Sure.
So Phil's back playing? He's 100% playing?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So if any of those 3 win, we've got to dress like Phil in our next round.
I'd also say Brooks Koepka. I don't think Brooks is going to win.
I don't
You're gonna add to
know,
your
man.
list?
The course does play long because there's some holes out there that, like, why would you hit driver?
It was funny reading the PGA Tour article on it this morning. They're like, it's going to be an exciting finish. And I'm like, 18 kind of sucks. 18 is not really like a finish, like, and TPC Sawgrass or the way it was over at Redstone. Like that 18th hole was, whoa.
17 will be sick.
17 will be fun.
Also,
I really think 2 is going to be awesome. I really do.
It's going to be carnage.
Guys, because 1, you'll get to see darts, and 2, you'll get to see some of the best players in the world struggle. If you go long left and that pin is just over that ridge or just below it, you can't stop that ball before it almost rolls in the bunker or off the green.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some backspin on those shots. Another thing, I think today is one of the worst days of the year for a golfer. Daylight savings, specifically KJ. I don't know, just checking in on you. I don't know what you're going to do anymore.
I'm definitely a lot more calm on the outside than I'm on the inside. I'm kind of losing it. The whole I'm going to get an 18 and be at the course almost every day by 3 is no longer a thing.
Nope.
The range is also closing earlier, like so before dark. So if I want to just even go hit balls, not happening pretty much.
Nope.
So, yeah, life pretty much sucks. That's it.
I just imagine KJ's, verbal gif or verbal meme with the cartoon character sitting in the burning room and said, "This is fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm okay. Everything's fine." Nope,
or the Ross Geller, like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." That's KJ right now. Daylight saving sucks.
Yeah, it really does. I'm actually almost going to have to actually take off to play as much golf as I used to.
Tough scene, at least until March when we spring forward. So daylight saving is the worst. Makes no sense either. So
not a fan.
Fellas, that's all I got. Pretty exciting week. Hopefully we'll be out there. Tickets are a little more expensive.
Can we still buy tickets for Sunday?
I don't know.
We need to get on that because
we'll look
I'm
into
not sure if I'm getting them yet.
Right. If we are, we'll bring you live coverage. So that's why you need to follow us on our social media channels at 3 Under Par Pod. That is the number 3 Under Par Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe, rate, and review to this podcast. Leave a review on what you think of the tournament, and then let us know. The DMs are open. Shoot us an email that's in the description below. Who you think is going to win this week at the Houston Open, the Vivint Houston Open. Maybe we'll figure it out. That's one of our goals for this week. Figure out how to say this, how to sponsor.
We're nailing it.
We're crushing the game right now. Next week, the Masters, full-on Masters preview. We're going to do our segment, and then right after or beforehand, not sure yet, we're going to have Garza on the pod.
Pick 'em, baby.
Masters pool. He's our full pick 'em, and we'll break down who we like. And then for our pool, if you'd like to be in it, let me know. Again, email or DMs are open. So that's all I got, fellas. I'm Scott for KJ and T-Bone. And remember,
Little White Ball is live.